What is up, guys? Welcome to another daily value pack, I guess. Um, and today I'll be talking about how to set goals, right? In my last two videos, how to love your life, how to love your job, I was really focusing around goals. And I really want to talk about how goals are so essential to, living a happy life and living a fulfilling life. It's really the only reason why we live is actually to thrive for something bigger than us. So, how to set goals, right? Again, last video, same guy commented, as my other video, the reason why I did the other video, he said, like, it's not so easy to set goals. Well, there's a basic formula that I use, again, to do these kinds of things, like setting goals, and it's pretty easy, really. But first of all, stop thinking it's hard. That's the first thing you want to knock out. Stop limiting yourself saying it's hard to make goals. You can make a goal saying, like, hey, I want to do my bed in the morning. That's a goal. That encourages you to do another goal, right? So setting a goal is like, let's do bigger goals, right? So if you want to do a goal that is like so freaking ridiculously high, or a good goal for you to chase after, obviously you don't want to be chasing after something that you're not really passionate for, or something like that. So a good way to do this, and this is another trick that my mentors taught me, they're like, sit down and envision, excuse me, they say envision how your perfect day would be. Okay, so envision how your perfect day would be. Now I'm talking about everything in this day. Like, you gotta think about everything. You gotta sit down and really meditate on this, okay? And when I'm saying sit down in a very quiet area, could be a dark area, close your eyes and picture every single detail of your perfect day. Okay, like, what's a day that you would want to be like every single day? You know what I mean? That's making a real goal here. So first of all, things to look for, or things to think of, is like, where are you? Where's the location? Okay, how do you feel? Who are you around? You could think of, what's the temperature like? Like, get details, like, what kind of house are you in? A hotel? Are you in a mobile home? Are you in a, like, those new, like, van conversion things that are really trendy right now? Are you in a self-bought house? Did you buy this house that you're in? Are you traveling? Where are you? What location? Where are you at? And I want you to picture all the details around there. Who's with you? If you're in a house, what kind of furniture do you have? What kind of car do you own? What kind of, all these things, right? What, like, really envision all these things, and envision, like, I would say, yeah, just envision like those kinds of things. That's what I did. How's the environment like? What's the world look like to you? You could go much broader than that, right? You could go not just how your life is, but how is everyone's life around you like? Like, envision, like, this is how world changers do it. Like, if you want to change the world, do something like special in the world, picture how the earth would be like in its perfect environment, right? And is that the day that you're going to be like, see, that was what I did, right? The whole world is, vegan, and the whole world is at peace, and everyone's healthy. Like, that's what I visioned. To me, that's a perfect day. To me, that's a perfect world. Everybody has high salaries, all those kinds of things. There's no poverty. That, to me, those are my goals. Like, those are like things that I vision, and I think that would be my perfect day. So what's your perfect day? Where are you at? What are you doing? Are you helping people? Are you not helping people? Are you just traveling the world? Are you in Hawaii? Are you in Australia? How's the weather like? How does it feel like? Feel it, like feel it, like really envision this. Like, feel everything you can feel, right? Like, feel feel the temperature. Is it raining? Is it really hot? I've done this practice. I'll tell you a little story right now. I've done this practice before. I've envisioned myself in Vegas. You know, I envisioned the whole airplane ride. Now, this was a smaller goal of mine. My goal was to get to Vegas for this convention I really wanted to go to, and meet some people, because I knew I was going to meet my mentors in person. I knew I would get some really big nuggets, some really big goals out of them. Like, I know that they would help me to go to that next step. So I sat down, I envisioned it, right? I envisioned, you know, and keep in mind, I was broke as hell at the time. I didn't know what I was doing. I just wanted to go because I knew I would learn a lot from those people. So I would sit down and I envision it. I envisioned the airplane ride, going there, the heat coming out of the airport, hitting my face. On the airplane, I remember envisioning being on the airplane and the city coming out of nowhere, and then we land, and then, you know, I come out of the airport and it's like opening up an oven because it's so hot, and like, and just like seeing my mentors, seeing my best friend, all for the like first time and stuff like that, and really envisioning also what I'm learning out there. Now, a big thing is when you have goals like that, and guess what? Here's the biggest thing about this. This shit came true with, you don't have to worry about how you're going to get there at first. Just worry about where you want to go. Don't worry about how to get there yet. Just where you want to go. And trust me, once you know where you're going, everything will just follow along. Everything will just like follow up, and you'll understand why. Again, I did this whole vision, and I was broke as hell, man. I was broke as hell, and I didn't have the funds or the means to go out in Vegas and, you know, be there for an entire week and feed myself and stuff like that. I really had like $40 in my bank account, like for real, like I'm not even kidding. And so I envisioned this, and I would thank the universe for sending me there. Like, it already sent me, and I would envision it and sit down and envision this for like 4 months straight. To be honest, I envisioned going to Las Vegas, and I envisioned every day, man. Every day was my goal to go there. And long and behold, a week before the event, I get a phone call saying that I get to go. And I didn't have money to feed myself or a place to stay, but I wasn't worried about that. A week before going, the actual date to go there, I received a phone call from one of my mentors saying that there was a competition, okay, like a little competition, little like thing going on, and we had to send a 2-minute video to explain like where we are right now, where we were, where we are, and where we want to be. And we had to do this in 2 minutes, and there was 5 winners, and I was not part of those 5. And you know, a couple hours later after the event, right? It doesn't matter. I already had an airplane ticket. You know, I had one way. I had no way to get back. I bought a one-way ticket there with complete faith that'll be fine. And then I get a phone call in the middle of the night, which is one of my mentors saying that they chose me as the 6th secret winner to send me out there, and I'm gonna have a room to stay at. I'm gonna have a fridge full of food and a private driver. That was awesome, right? And so I went out there, and they bought my ticket. They refunded me my ticket back. They gave me back the money, and also they bought me a ticket home. So it's really cool that I was actually able to do these things. So I went out there, had a lot of fun, learned a lot, and my mentors made us do, like, I think I have the video somewhere on my channel, but there was a video, and I had just finished recording. It's like a 2.5-minute video. It's not very big. And it was talking about like I just came out of this exercise where we had to write down all our priorities, all the things we've ever wanted to do, okay, and everything we've wanted to do on a list. During our whole lives. I ended up having like 15 things. It was crazy, okay? So, and then we had to prioritize them, put them in, like, knock like some off. And we had to make a list. We had to shorten that list down to 3, the 3 most important ones. All right? That's what it was. And those 3 things after that list of all the things you wanted to do, then you have to question yourself, you know, why you want to do these things, right? Why? That's probably one of the most important questions you could ask yourself while when you aim for, like, let's say you want to be a police officer, okay? Why do you want to be a police officer? And if you're chasing down money, it's not the best idea. Like, it's more like, if you want to chase down money, don't choose a career to chase money. chase something that is actually going to give you actual money, because you're going to be unhappy being a police officer who ultimately just wants money. Like, you might as well just be an investor and just get money. You'll be happier doing that than, going through doing something you hate and getting some sort of salary. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So you want to ask yourself, why do you want to be this? What do you want to do? Why do you want to go there? So that's how you do it, really. So I had all these things, and my priorities stopped from being, I had all these job titles, right? And I also had priorities in there, like things you want to do and things you want to be. I had like marine biologist, zoologist, environmentalist, cryptozoologist. I had all these ologies, right? All these things. And then I had traveling, family, helping, charity work, all this stuff. And as I narrowed this thing down, it ended up being 3 things: family, traveling, and I think the other one was helping. What was it? It was helping. No, what was it? It was traveling, family, and helping. That was it. Traveling, family, and helping. Those were my 3 things that my whole career list ended up being. Now, at the time, I was very limiting myself, okay? And this was a mistake I've done, okay? This was a huge mistake I did while doing this exercise, because as they were telling me this exercise, as they were explaining to me, like, oh, don't limit yourself, I had this thing in my head saying, well, my goals are too big and overwhelming. Like, the thing I want to do, the thing that's driving me insane to do, is too big and too overwhelming for me. Hence why I ended up with helping, family, and traveling. These are like mediocre things. But it still helps my, the goal was to change the world. Again, I saw this, we're running low on water globally. We're running low on the territory globally. We're running out of air globally. There's a lot of things that needs to be changed in order to live in a perfect world, in a sustainable world. And like, one of the big things, like, I know that I wasn't able to have kids. I'm not gonna have kids in this fucking world. That's for sure. Like, unless I see massive change, that's not just I'm not gonna do it. Right? And so, like, I had this limited belief, like, if this world doesn't change, like, I can't be happy. And one day, way after I got back, well, about 2 months after I got back from Vegas and doing this exercise, I was still unhappy, right? Because my goals were not being, like, they weren't clicking yet. I still had major limiting beliefs, and which causing me major anxiety and major depression at the same time. So I was sitting there at home, and I was reading this book. I read this book, The Breakthrough Experience. And I also read this book called, A New Earth, The Awakening of Life's Purpose. And there was one phrase in there, just one freaking quote in there that changed it all. And it was a quote that Jesus said. And Jesus said, right? Jesus said, and that he would look at the peasants, right? Look at the people, and says, you can be greater than me. Jesus, or so-called fucking God, so-called God said that you can do greater things than he did. Now, that to me was a big light bulb go in my head. Hold on, I could do more than what Jesus did? What? And then I was in the Breakthrough Experience, as I'm reading through this book, it was also talking about, what was I going out with that? In this book, they were talking about, how sometimes that the thing that you're meant to do is the thing that you're just scared shitless of, is the thing that is terrifying you the most. And that's a call for you to do something about it. It's like either do or die kind of situation, right? Like, do or die. Like, either do something about it or let it kill you. Okay, so that to me, when I read that part of that book, it clicked to me that, I can't rely on other people to do it for me, that I have to take action, that I have to do my part, and I have to go towards this dream of mine. like live. Like that's my dream, just to fucking live, like survive, like go past 55. Like that's my goal. To have kids one day, like to have a family one day. But, I'm always saying like, oh, if the world don't change, and if I don't see massive action, if I don't see people really changing, well, then I'm not going to do it. So instead of waiting for that change to happen, I'm going to be the change, like what Gandhi says, be the change you want to see in the world, right? So those are like how I did it, right? That was my process. It wasn't so easy, but once I sat down and I realized that I had the knowledge to do it all, which I did, and that's the cool part about it, is like I know how to send this message out. I know how to get followers with this. I know how to set a whole community and just blast this and just educate people and become a teacher in this. Like I know how to do it. And I only realized that when I sat down and meditated on it and thought about, okay, well, I could be greater than Jesus. And then, like, okay, so let me go towards this goal and change the world. And, yeah. And then I thought about, okay, how can I do it? And then I realized my whole fucking life lined up. So that's how you do it. I hope that story inspired you a little bit. I hope it did its job. I know this video is a little long, but goal setting is a major subject. And, I could talk about like a whole day on this, because it's like literally I could go an hour on this video and really go and break it down on how to really set like super high goals and stuff like that. But I'm talking about, it doesn't have to be super high. Like I didn't know my goal was super high. Like I told you in other videos, I just wanted to travel the world and live free. So basically when I said that in the other videos, is I realized that, I don't really want a job. I don't want to work. I don't want to do all these things. Like I don't want to be a slave in the corporate America, right? Like that's what I don't want. And so when I realized that, and I just wanted the world to change, and I just wanted to travel and live free and be a little bird flying around freely, right? That's what I wanted to do. So that's how I am approaching things. And see, I'm going to be a little like how I'm going to be a bird, a free bird, online marketer. That's also going to provide a lot of money coming in, right? Like too much money. Everyone's like, oh, is there such thing as too much money? To me, with what I want to do and the things where I want to live and the situations I want to go through, I'm going to have a lot of money just sitting there in the bank, which is pointless. So what I'm not, instead of investing in housing and real estate and just blowing up that money bigger and bigger and bigger, what I'm just going to do is just continue marketing while marketing a new life, right? Like a new life, a new way of thinking for other people. So to me, with that money, I'll be blowing in that up and educating people about the world and where it's really going. And if we don't change, we're going to kill ourselves. So that, to me, that's my purpose, right? That's what I'm going to be doing with that money. And because I don't want donations, I don't want to rely on other people. I'm very like stuck up with that kind of stuff, and I don't want to be able to rely on other people. So that's what I'm gonna do. So that's my goal. So I hope that inspired you, and I hope that I'm still gonna be traveling the world, living free, living in a van. Actually, I want to do a self-converted van. Even if I'm making $1 million a month, I'm still probably gonna be living in a van for quite some time, traveling, doing the things that I want to do. And so like that's how I goal set, right? So my goal is to get a van because I want to live free, not have anything tied down, including rent, all that stuff. I want to change the world. I want to have my own agency. The reason why I want to have an agency is because it helps me do all this stuff, right? This knowledge that I have just happens to just go well with this job title or job thing. So anyways, enough about me. I hope that helped you get goals. And again, see how I want to change the world, how that is a 10x way of thinking. That is a big ass goal. But it helps me move forward every day. And you know what? Since the day I actually made that decision to change the world, it was the first day in years that I felt happy. It was actually the moment. It took me like less than an hour to get out of a severe depression and mega anxiety. When I decided that I'm gonna do something for this world. So I hope that inspired you, and I hope you understand. Again, if you got any questions, if you like this video, please subscribe, like this video, and put any questions down below. It's super important that you engage with me. It's super important that we talk about this and spread this message. Again, if you get value out of this, go ahead and share this video. I encourage you to share this video because goal setting is a big thing. All right, peace and love, guys. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.